Hi everyone, this is my book Travels with Nasrudin, and I want to read the introduction and the first couple of pages of the text. The wise fool of Oriental folklore, Nasrudin is known across a vast swathe of the globe, from Morocco in the west to Indonesia in the east. Appearing under different names and in all manner of guises, he's universally admired for his back-to-front brand of genius, so much so that at least a dozen countries insist that he was one of theirs. In reality, he is of course found everywhere, even in regions where he has no name. Tales of Nasrudin's wise foolery have been told in caravanserais and tea houses since ancient times, just as they are recounted in cafes, office buildings and homes all over the world today. In the land of Nasrudin, the wise are foolish and the foolish are wise, leading the listener through a keyhole into a realm that's back to front and inside out. The stories turn what we think we know and understand on its head. At the same time, Nasrudin tales form a cornerstone in an ancient and advanced psychology. As you laugh at the offbeat humour, the subconscious turns the puzzle joke around, working away at it like a terrier worrying a rag doll. Nasrudin has been in my life since the day I was born. He's travelled with me, chatted to me, laughed with me and consoled me as I have wandered the world, doing my best to make sense of it. As the ground beneath my feet has slipped past, I found myself considering familiar stories from the corpus of Nasrudin in fresh ways. My journeys have been a key that opens a door to the land of Nasrudin, just as the land of Nasrudin has been the key to make sense of my journeys. By directing my attention to the methods of the wise fool, I have found that new dimensions reveal themselves to me, both in lands I thought I knew and in fresh dominions as well. Travels with Nasrudin is a book no one else could or would have written, not because I'm a better or worse author than anyone else, but because I've set it down as I experience the world, as a consummate wise fool traveller myself. Had Nasrudin sat down to write a travel book, I like to think that this is what he would have come up with, as back to front as it is inside out. My hope is that it challenges the reader as much as it has the writer, turning common convention on its head. This is how the book begins. Chapter 1. In need of funds, Nasrudin made a sign and hung it on the back of a chair. It read, "Any 2 questions answered for 1 piece of gold." Sitting back on the chair, he waited for customers. It was only a matter of time before someone approached, well dressed in a lovely silk robe. He looked at the chair, the sign, and then Nasrudin, and he parted with the golden coin. "Do you really answer 2 questions for a single gold coin?" he asked. Nasrudin slipped the coin into his pocket. "Yes, I do," he answered. "And what is your next question?" Langton House, 1972. On the eve of my 6th birthday, my father tucked me into bed. "Are you excited for tomorrow?" he asked. "No, I'm not," I whispered. "Why not?" "Because I'm frightened." "Frightened of what?" "Frightened of the monsters under my bed." Stooping down, my father peered into the darkness. "There's nothing there." "That's because they're invisible monsters," I replied. "Well, if you don't think of them, they'll go away." "But they'll just hide under someone else's bed, and that doesn't seem fair," I said. "You see, that's how they came to be in my bedroom in the first place." Perching on the edge of my bed, my father smoothed the blanket down with his hand, and he said, "I'll tell you something that will protect you throughout your life." "Protect me from monsters?" "Yes, and all kinds of other things that frighten you, but things that you don't understand." "What is it, Baba?" "A suit of armour, like the one down in the hallway." "A little bit like that, but different as well." "Will I wear it?" "Yes, you will." "Can I see it?" Leaning back, my father grinned, the kind of magical grin that preceded something special. "This suit of armor isn't like the others that you've seen before," he said. "It's different because it's not made from metal." "Then it won't stop the arrows and the swords." "Ah, but it will, in its own way." "How?" "By protecting you from the inside out." I didn't understand. All my friends had fathers who said things simply, while mine spoke in riddles. "What's it made of, then?" I asked. "Of stories." "What kind of stories?" "Stories about the bravest and most amazing fool who ever lived." "What's his name?" Dark eyes reflecting the lamplight, my father replied, "His name is Nasrudin."